Welcome back, everybody, to more from the Sableyes. I'm here today with Jordan. How's it going, Jordan?
Very well, Mitch.
And we are back with the list that we built in our Building ReshiZard video. Now I'm going to take it through the second step of our deck building phase, and that is playing it on PTCGO just to make sure that it's not absolute garbage. So this is the list that we put together, and we think it's okay. It's definitely 60 cards. And now we're going to give it a bit of a test. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so let's jump on the ladder with it and make sure that it's not complete garbage. Because obviously if we've made any glaring errors in the deck list, we want to make sure that we pick them up before we play targeted matchups, which is probably the next step. If the list that we're happy with, as a general list, it runs smoothly and does decent stuff, then we can start making some more changes. But
yeah, I think for the most part, I think it should run pretty well. It's just going to come down to any last minute 1 or 2 card edits that we feel like changing before running it.
Absolutely. So we have no basics, but we're going second. So our primo starter here is Volcanion. I'd be happy to see that. Obviously,
Eevee's not a bad starter either, but Volcanion definitely seems like the better way to go.
There it is. The interesting thing is, though, that we've got 3 Pokegear in hand, so hopefully in the top 7 cards in one of our 3 Pokegears, we've got access to a greens to be able to search for a ReshiZard to attach to.
I'd be surprised if we don't find a supporter at the very least off of any of those.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be exceptionally surprised. Now, in this type of game, when we're just testing out the list to make sure that it runs, we're not super concerned about what we play against. Firstly, we don't know what the meta is going to be like for Unbroken Bonds because there's been no games so far. But this first preliminary kind of run through is just to make sure, like I said, that nothing falls apart. So I've got no idea what we're playing against here. It's got Houndour in it, so I don't know if there's any...
I'm not familiar with what Houndoom does. Obviously, we see a Salina on the bench, and that's a much better card than Houndoom as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah,
I don't know, maybe Houndoom does something we've overlooked.
Maybe it does, but it doesn't really matter at the moment. As long as we can set up what we want to set up and do some knockouts, then I'm happy. But yeah, it looks like they're trying to do a little bit of acceleration the same way that we are, giving us a Viridian Forest to work with too, which is kind of them.
Means we can thin one more card out of the deck before attempting these Pokegears.
Certainly does. 3 Salandits. Could this be like 4 Salandits? Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I think this is like a hand-based deck.
Yeah, I think this definitely might be one of those unknown hand kind of decks, which is actually something we currently don't have any out for in this list.
Well, that's actually quite a good thing to start off with, because now, like, we know unknown hand, we probably just take a hard loss to at the moment because we've not done anything for it. I'm just going to grab a ReshiZard here.
Makes sense.
Attach to the Volcanion before I forget, and then we'll get rid of this energy for another one.
And let's hope to find realistically any supporter off of these Pokegears.
Well, what do you want? Do you want a green or a welder? What are you after? I reckon we get a green and play the green, and then use the other Pokegears later.
Yeah.
Green. We can get ourselves a couple of items here. I'd say Fiery Flint's probably not a bad option, but we've already got a ton of stuff. I don't want to give him Heat Factory because...
as tempting as it is to take that, it's definitely not the right thing to do right now.
It seems like it'll set him up, I don't know, like double Nest Ball maybe?
Nest Ball Fiery Flint, I think, is a pretty good way to go, or even Welder for next turn. But we've got the double Pokegear in hand already anyway, so the Fiery Flint seems stronger.
Alright, so what we'll do is we'll Nest Ball. I reckon we grab... do we grab an Eevee? What about a Turtonator? Oh, there's so many options.
I don't mind the idea of getting Eevee, or even just a second Volcanion, because if they're going to be having these kind of low HP Pokemon active for a while, then Volcanion's actually going to be a pretty strong attacker for us.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, let's just go with Volcanion then. That seems fine. I don't know if we need to play the Fiery Flint now. In fact, we probably don't.
Think so.
We'll just go with the Flare Starter and get 3 energy from the deck and chuck
that
them
little
down.
ReshiZard on the bench seems fine.
Seems like a reasonable place to put him. And we've
You
got
could even put one on the active if you wanted to.
Well,
but
I'm kind of thinking
really,
maybe we put one on this Volcanion down here because we've got an attachment next turn.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
That means
It
we
seems
get
good
to means we get to attack with anyone if something crazy happens.
I actually don't know how much HP Houndoom has. We'll see. I guess if he gets it out this turn, what it does. I imagine it will help him draw cards in some form if that's the strategy he's going for with this deck.
Probably, but the key thing is, we got the attack off with Volcanion. So if we were playing a deck that makes sense and we understand it has 110, that's perfect numbers. Sorry.
Beautiful.
If we were playing another deck, then we would have had a 3 energy ReshiZard this turn. So
I think I saw it had the Nasty Claw attack, which usually lets you search for cards.
Yep, search your deck for a card and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Seems fine. I didn't read the second attack, but that's time to do drawing cards as well, I think.
If you have more cards in your hand than your opponent, it does 80 more damage. So that's why they've got so many Salazzle.
Yep.
But here's the thing.
Maybe it's just a Houndoom deck instead of an Unknown Hand deck.
Maybe it is. Maybe we're going to get let off and we're going to be able to use Volcanion to just rip this guy to shreds.
Well, yeah, it's almost just going to be a 1-for-1 trade, Houndoom versus Volcanion at this point.
Yeah.
And I think Volcanion wins that trade usually.
I think it does, and the fact that he's not hitting for knockout here means that he's in a bit of trouble, but at least he gets a Salazzle for next turn, I guess. It's odd that he attached. I don't know why he did that.
I guess they're not anticipating the knockout from Volcanion. I guess not many people really think about the fact that it's actually a decent attacker. Most people think of it as just a way to power up Reshiram.
I guess, but just attached to that. Do we even need to do anything else? I mean,
I think that it's definitely good to at least see what supporter option we get. We could potentially get another green search and set ourselves up for a following turn.
That's true. I guess I think what we do is we Fiery Flint away the Flareon and the energy, and then Pokegear.
Yep. I like that.
Just to thin those cards out. We've got the Flame Crystal to get the energy back, so we'll just get these 4 energy into our hand. There's no more in our deck, so there goes those. But we've got a better chance of hitting something with this Pokegear. I'll grab a Guzma, that seems fine.
Not a bad card. Good thing to hold on to.
And we'll use the other one, and oh look at that, we get a choice of literally every supporter in our deck. What would you like? What would you like, Jordan?
I mean, Welder doesn't seem too bad here. Just weldering 2 energy onto the Reshiram and then drawing 3 cards might be better than greens in this situation.
I reckon you might be right.
Because I feel like there's nothing really need to search for right now. We've kind of got everything we need. All we need is more energy on the board in general.
I have to click done. I've not played Welder before. Wow, that's an odd thing.
Yeah, a lot of cards don't work properly these days, Mitch.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. Okay, cool. Well, we've got a Flame Crystal for next time. High Heat Blast is a knockout. We'll just do that. That seems fine.
Perfect.
They're not threatening us next turn. They don't have an attacker, so...
That Fiery Flint's a dead card. There's no energy in deck.
Hey, no cards are dead cards. We could use it at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, true.
We can use it to thin.
I think there's actually 2 energy prized, I think, if I've done the maths correctly.
Well, we've got 2 in discard, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13 or 14. I can't remember how many we had in the end.
I think it's 14 actually, so we might have 3 prized.
3 prized. Is it Jirachi? What is going on?
That's a pretty good card, but
it is
I
a
mean,
good
it's
card,
with the fire, so we don't even need the additional effect to knock it out, which is funny.
That is... I kind of just think we, like... If he gets himself... Oh, he's going to play down a Heat Factory, so he's happy to draw more cards. If he gets himself another Houndour, and we just Guzma kill it. And just make it so that he can't do anything.
To power up both Volcanion, so we can pretty much just chain Volcanion for the majority of this game at this point.
But the question is, does he actually have Unknown Hand? Like, this has to be Salazzle Unknown Hand, surely.
I imagine that we at least need to be ready for it to come out.
Yeah. Like, I'm almost more interested in knocking out the Salazzle than I am knocking out the Houndour. Because surely, or even, and this is a spicy tech, not taking any more knockouts for the rest of the game.
That's funny.
I feel like if we do that, I don't think we can lose.
I mean, eventually they just win with the Houndoom, right?
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Sure, it'll take them a while, but if we don't attack them, eventually they'll win.
I reckon we have to get rid of these Salazzles. because I don't think we can risk the unknown hand. But he's got so many binned cards, like, and only 3 of them are energy, so there's only 3 coming back.
Yeah, I think the only way that we lose the prize trade from here is if they do end up playing unknown hand, because they're not winning the prize trade from this point.
Oh yeah, they're not doing anything. So, all right, I reckon that's probably a dead Salazzle with an energy on it. Happy to kill that.
It'd be nice if we had the ability to replace the stadium. Hopefully, we could even heat factory into the replacement stadium.
Yeah.
That would be really strong.
Let's try it.
But it's not a huge necessity for this turn. It'd just be nice.
Didn't happen, but that's okay. We'll just do the same thing. I don't think we really need to do anything else. I'm happy to just sit on this.
Yeah, seems fine.
Yep. Just knock out that Salazzle with an energy on it inexplicably.
And at this point, we probably have enough energy on board to just take the rest of our prizes without really needing to do anything else for the rest of the game, honestly.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things about Reshiram, is you can kind of just put yourself in checkmate positions where you're like, I've got this many energy on board, and these Pokemon will take this many prizes. There's nothing your opponent can do about that.
Exactly. So he's going to look to try and get a knockout here on Volcanion, but we've got an answer, an immediate answer, which is good.
In fact, we even have World of Fire Crystal to just instantly power up another Pokemon at any point during this game.
Yep, 100%. Like, we're set up. The only way I can see us losing is if there's Unknown Hand. But at this
honestly,
stage...
even with Unknown Hands, like, they're playing out most of their cards during these turns. Like,
yeah, I don't see it happening.
They're certainly not getting it anytime soon.
How much HP did Turtonator have? Is that 120 or 110?
I believe it was 110.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Certainly not a bad idea for a finisher in this game.
Yeah, this is definitely based on Houndour and Houndoom. I don't think there's any Unknown Hand here. I think maybe we're thinking 2 big brain plays. I think
yeah. In fact, honestly, I think they're going to deck out very soon if they're not careful.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, we just Guzma out something that's got a fat retreat cost if we can. I don't think there's anything that does though. I think they've all just got 1.
I mean, you could, but once again, we're in the position where we can just keep attacking and eventually win.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're down to 4 cards. I don't know if... I mean, obviously they've got cards like Cynthia, but...
Yeah, but they need to take 5 prizes before they... Oh, I don't know, man. I don't see it happening.
I think we just promote Volcanion and just keep attacking. Maybe, probably worth setting up a Flareon or something this turn, just getting another attacker into play just in case we run out.
Yep, I kind of put the Turtonator down maybe. How much HP
it could be Turtonator, it could be Reshiram. It could honestly be any attacker at this point. I just worry that using Turtonator could be the only way that we run out of attackers.
That's fair. I'm gonna Fire Crystal to grab some energy back. And then we're gonna see how this interaction works on PTCGO. Do I weld it to it? Or do I just guarantee it with the regular attachment? I think I just guarantee it with the regular attachment because I've got no idea. I've got no idea how the interaction will work on PTCGO because sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, and if you were to draw the Flareon off the welder, then you would no longer be able to evolve it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there he goes. Okay, so in our test game number 1, everything seemed to work reasonably well.
Yeah, no complaints. We didn't really miss any of the plays we wanted to make during that game. I think it was fine.
Yep, seems fine to me. We'll play maybe 1 or 2 more, just to make sure that one wasn't a fluke, because sometimes it happens that everything just draws perfectly, and you think you've made the best deck in the world when someone tells you that you didn't put Ultra Ball in it, or something stupid like that. Now, I know we've obviously got Ultra Ball in ours, but... Alright, let's see what this mystery thing is.
I do wonder how the setup for this deck's going to differ if we do end up going first, which is still better than going second if we're given the option.
Well, here we go. We're going first, so let's see.
It means that the Volcanion turn 1 is less of a priority. It means that Welder becomes stronger in the first turn. Still not required, because you can Green Search to set it up for turn 2, but...
It looks like we're playing something
quite a bit different, I think.
Playing something with water here as well, so Turtonator suddenly becomes a really interesting attacker.
Yep, and of course we did end up cutting the weakness policy. It's not a great hand. Depending on what we get for the PTCGO, it could be stronger.
Could be really strong if we get something else. Wow, look at how many mulligans we have. We have like 4. Jeez.
We don't even have, what was it, 9 or 10 basic Pokemon in this list, I think. Well, it's not a bad card, actually.
Okay, so we've got a Nest Ball. We've prized an Eevee and a Volcanion and a Turtonator.
And a Turtonator. Wow.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Got plenty of energy. We've got all of our welders, all of our...
Wait, was that 10 energy in the deck, was it?
10,
Plus 2
12.
in hand,
also
prized 2 energy.
oh god, well at least we know what all of them are.
Yeah.
I reckon we go... What do you reckon we go for the Flareon? I reckon we go for Flareon and then...
Yeah. I think Flareon's fine. And even the welder look here isn't too bad.
Well, I'm kind of thinking like we can Fiery Flint to get 2 onto the ReshiZard and 1 onto the Eevee. So
yeah, I don't mind that too.
Manually attach here and get the Flareon down. And then we can like Fiery Flint away the Nest Ball and the Fire for 4 fires and then Welder.
Yep, I like that.
I'm happy to do that. I clicked those Fire Energy too quickly. Alright. It just sucks that we've got ReshiZard in the active. I'd much rather have any other card there.
Well, it's pretty easy to switch out.
Got Guzma. I kind of don't want to play down the Heat Factory just yet because they've got so many cards that they can get rid of it, and we're not really looking for anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I reckon we hold it, and we've got the Guzma for next turn, so...
We've also got Welder if we want to just take a big knockout of Reshiram next turn.
That's true, we can do that.
See what happens.
And it looks like they're going to obviously try and set up stuff too, so we might be in a position where we can just kind of chip around and take some
I wonder
knockouts.
if this is actually the Greninja deck that we saw do pretty well in the European International Championships.
It could very well be.
It might have all the cards that would play.
Well, it's yellow and green, yellow and blue, sorry, which is what we had. So,
and we did just see the Pokemon Communication get rid of a Tapu Lele promo, which is a pretty key card in that deck.
100%. So we want to get rid of these Froakies before we have to flip a coin to do it.
Yep, that seems bad.
Yep. Let's figure out how we can get there. There's an energy in a choice band. We need to put a few energy in the bin. Well, they're going to judge us. Well, there goes that Heat Factory.
Certainly doesn't look too bad putting that down turn 1 now.
Yeah, probably should have. But that's okay.
Hey, we got a pretty good hand in there.
Yeah.
There was 2 fire and discard, right? Or was it just 1?
That's just 1.
Just 1. That's alright.
So it's not amazing, but it looks like they've got a pretty solid.
Nice for us.
Okay, we've got a Fire Crystal and an energy, so we can.
I think you just Welder here. You just Fire Crystal and then Welder 2 into the active. It's probably all we really need to do this time.
Or do we gamble and like Welder twice on a Flareon and then attach once up here? Because like, when are we going to double blaze? Like, there's no GXs in this
double
list.
blaze anytime, really.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, do we need to use Flare Strike right now?
I mean, the GX attack is nice for if you miss a switch or something after using Flare Strike, you can just GX attack instead.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to play this Nest Ball. Let's see what else we can pick up. I reckon maybe...
Volcanion seems fine, I guess.
Volcanion seems fine.
Doing 110 later on seems like it could be useful on some Cocos, potentially.
Yep, that seems fine. And we'll welder onto the old ReshiZard. Doop, 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 doop. Max Potion seems like a good card.
Certainly, especially against a spread deck like this.
I reckon I might Fiery Flint away this Fire and the Choice Band. We're not going to need the Choice Band. Oh.
Yep.
What's happened? Please tell me that I've not dropped out.
That's not. There we go.
Oh, it's chugging along. Okay, we're back. Thin out those cards a little bit.
Certainly runs out of fire energy pretty quickly, but I guess that's what the fire crystals are for.
That is what it's for. And we just Flare Strike to 230 to this Froakie.
That is a dead Froakie.
That is one dead Froakie. Alright, now we've got another turn until Greninjas become a problem.
Well, now it looks like.
I
Hopefully
feel
it sorts itself out.
I feel like
Looks like
I may be about to drop out here. All the telltale signs are here.
Well, it's working for now, so we can't complain.
Yep. If it's the case, if we drop out, I think we've done the job anyway. Like we've tested it and it seems to work. So
If we hit a Guzman next turn, we probably almost just completely outpace this deck. Taking out that Freaky will slow them down immensely.
I reckon you're right.
Using Flareon, which is pretty strong.
Things aren't looking good. Not a lot's happening here. Well, Guzma would be even better now. I keep seeing the little thing in the corner. It's panic stations. Yeah. It's red now.
That one's even worse.
That's real bad. Oh, he's back. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's my opponent.
Well, until it drops out, we can't complain.
Yeah.
That's not a Guzma.
That's not a Guzma.
In fact, that's a pretty bad turn for us now.
I think we just attach and pass and see what happens.
Was there no Fire Engine deck? Maybe
that was two. I probably could have accelerated one, but I'm a greedy boy.
Now the problem is they're going to get a Greninja into play this turn, and all of a sudden, it's a lot harder to knock out.
That's alright, we'll just flip heads on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
He went for the Greninja, so he's not super worried about getting a supporter or anything.
He's probably got one already.
Nah.
Maybe not.
Nah, he's just going to retreat and knock out the Volcanion. No, he's got to sit there, damn it.
Honestly, though, the fact that Greninja hits weakness doesn't even seem like it's a huge factor. I mean, it's certainly... ReshiZard just has so much HP.
Yeah.
And when we've got Max Potion potential in the later game... I don't know, Greninja...
Just goes for the...
Well, good. It doesn't even seem like it's that unbeatable.
Goes for the flip. Well, I reckon I just attach and high Heat Blast for knockout.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And we've got the Max Potion down there for later. I got lots of stuff, but we'll just take the knockout. We'll finish this game up quickly, just in case there is a problem with the connection. I gotta stop talking about it, because otherwise it'll come true.
It's interesting that they've got the Mr. Mime down. Obviously, that blocks Ace Roller, but luckily it doesn't do anything against Max Potion.
Nah, it doesn't stop us from Max Potioning, which is the key. Alright, now, this Greninja's gonna be a pain.
It's only a pain if the coin flip is unfavored to us.
Yes.
The thing that makes Greninja really annoying is when you have to commit resources to a coin flip. For example, when Zapdos plays Electro Powers and then misses the knockout, or if you have to waste a GX attack or a Professor Kukui trying to kill it and you whiff the knockout. But with this deck, you can kind of just attack it and be like, oh, I flipped Tails, I'll just do it again next turn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, unless we use Bright Flame on Flareon, it's not going to be an issue. But I'd really like a Guzma.
Yeah, Guzma would be good. Obviously, this is only playing 3 Guzma, but we've got access to Green Search and Pokegear. There's a lot of ways of finding it.
There is.
Seems like they're just flying flipping over and over again.
They are.
Which I think is
Why did Shrine...
There's a Green Search.
Did Shrine not tick on that Flareon?
Not sure it did, because it's on an odd number, right?
I don't know.
3 flying flips.
Maybe. That's Green's exploration. I kind of feel like... What do we need to do here? Kind of feel
Heat
like
Factory isn't a bad card.
Heat Factory isn't a bad card. I kind of want to get a Guzma as well, but I also want to get a Welder because we're in danger with this ReshiZard. I kind of want to start healing it now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that if you Max Potion at next turn and Welder, that's a pretty strong turn. And we can kind of just Guzma eventually.
Yeah. I'll get the Welder. I kind of want to Max Potion now, because if we don't, we just lose everything.
How much damage does the Greninja do?
Well, the
50,
Greninja's
right?
doing 50, right? But it's doing 8160 if it's in the active. So if they Guzma it out, it's dead.
Right.
So I'm kind of like,
Well, it's not a bad idea to do it now.
if we heal it now, then it stuffs
Yeah,
them over.
I don't mind that. Maybe just use the Heat Factory to see what we get.
Yeah, sounds good.
Should be fine because we've got Welder. We'll draw Fire Crystal eventually, and then Welder will be all good to go.
Yep, and we got an energy anyway. Okay, cool. So I'm going to attach one,
Yeah.
and then we're going to Heat Blast. Pew pew!
We're also in a position now where we're down to 3 prize cards, and we've got 3 Guzma left in deck still, so if we wanted to, we could even try the route where we just ignore Greninja and
just
take
knockouts where we need to, yeah. But it looks like he's just happy to flip.
Yeah, if this wasn't a Water Weak deck, I think that would be the way to go, but we really can't allow that Greninja to get too many hits off. It's almost tempting to see if we could pull off a Guzma to take out the Greninja before it gets an attack, but I don't think we've got that option on this turn anyway.
I don't think so either. Kind of want a Heat Factory to see if we can get into a Crystal.
Yeah, I think that's fine. The attachment isn't bad either, but eventually we'll draw crystals if we keep searching. And look, there is a green search.
There is. I'm going to poke here as well. I'm just going to grab this Guzma for later.
Yep. And then we can green search for Fire Crystal or any other combination of cards. It's only 1 Fire Crystal left, so we do have to be careful. Probably can't use Heat Factory too much.
What we do is, I reckon we grab Crystal and a Guzma, because now we've got 2 Guzma in hand. Our next 2 knockouts are set up. We're going to Crystal the energy back into our hand. There's 4 in the bin. I reckon I'm feeling pretty good. Because now...
Let's not forget, there's actually 2 Fire Energy prizes this game as well, I believe. So there's a good chance that we can actually unprize one right now.
100%. I'm just going to do a little bit of thinning here, because I don't see us needing any of those.
Yep, makes sense.
Let's grab that into the hand for later.
Probably, maybe bench the Volcanion, but you don't want it to get Guzma stalled, so probably not worth it.
Nah, I'm not worried about it. I reckon I just high Heat Blast here. We've got 2 Guzmas, we've got 3 attackers, and we've got 3 energy in hand. So I reckon I'm feeling pretty good.
We've got the resources needed to close out the game in 2 turns. As long as they don't find a way to win those 2 turns, I think we're going to be good. They do only have 1 non-Greninja in play now, though. So we just need to... I mean, they might bench something else, but assuming they don't screw up and just keep these Greninjas, we will need to win 1 coin flip to win this game.
Yes.
It's not too much to ask for.
It's not. Now they're going to take a knockout on this Volcanion. I reckon the next play that we have is to use Flareon's GX attack or something similar to knock out Mr. Mime. Maybe even just use Bright Flame, knock out Mr. Mime, and have the Flareon there as a threat for later.
Yep, I don't mind that. I do think it might be worth saving the GX attack so we can take a knockout with Reshiram using just 3 energy if we need to. In fact, does Reshiram go through the effect of the ability? I don't think it does.
Its effect, this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon.
I think it actually might then.
It very easily might. So maybe we need to start gearing towards doing that.
Yeah, if we can use a Guzma this turn, take out Mr. Mime with Volcanion, for example, if they don't knock it out.
It looks like they're going for the Flareon.
They're probably going to knock out both.
Yeah.
That's a little worrying, but they have no way to deal with Reshiram next turn.
Especially if we flip heads.
We can honestly still oh wait, no, because we can't Guzma and save the GX attack, so that's the only problem there.
Okay, what are we thinking?
I guess it's just going to be Welder into Reshiram and try and knock out with Flame Charge, whatever it's called.
A Flare Strike?
Flare Strike, that's the one.
Alright,
I think that's probably the best play.
Let's do it. Let's just attach him. I have to click done there.
Even though there's only 1 Pokemon.
Alright.
Sweeper unfortunately doesn't really help here.
It doesn't. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, and if we flip heads, we win the game.
Yep.
Oh, hang on.
That's a Tails.
That's a Tails,
no, sorry,
but Tails is good. Tails is good.
Yes. And yeah, I don't think there's any way for them to knock out this Reshiram next turn.
Well,
we should be able to use the X attack the game.
They're doing 160, so...
That's not enough.
It's not.
The Max Potion tech proving to be very useful in this matchup.
100%.
I do think we would lose this game without it.
I think you're 100% right. And I mean, we've got the Guzma as well, so we don't even need to risk PTCGO not working with the double plays. So I reckon that's probably...
I'd be interested to see if what PTCGO does, but obviously obviously.
Well, it depends. It depends whether we want to guarantee the win or whether we want to test it for a testing's sake.
I reckon let's test it. We know personally that we've won this game.
Yeah,
let's see what PTCGO decides.
We win. Let's see if it works. It just works. Beautiful. Fantastic.
Hey. And excellent. There's the Turtonator. Didn't even need it.
There's the Turtonator for water matchups.
So there you go. ReshiZard beats water decks even without weakness force. It's a pretty good deck.
It does. It seems pretty good. Yeah, so I'm reasonably happy with that. It seemed to run pretty well both times. So
yeah,
now,
what did you think of the list? Is there anything you think you wanted to change in that game, or did you think it was pretty good?
I felt like it was pretty solid. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, we've not tested it up against anything ultra meta relevant, but it felt really. The Max Potion is an excellent inclusion. It won us that game. I reckon. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. What about yourself?
Yeah, I don't think it's the perfect list by any means, but there's nothing that jumps out at me as being wrong about the list. I'm still a bit skeptical about how good the Turtonator is, but maybe a 4th Fire Crystal is one card that I was thinking might have been good in that game, just because we were running a little
running energy out.
If we were to fit in another Fire Crystal or Fiery Flint, I would much rather the Crystal, I think, out of the two. But I don't think you need it. I think we just kind of went a bit ham with Fire Energy in that game, and even then, we still didn't even get close to running out of energy.
Yeah, and we had the Fire Crystal. And one of the Fire Crystals was prized as well, and we were still fine. So yeah,
I think it's good.
It looks pretty good. Anyway, now the next step is to take it into our gauntlet. We've had Zorogong play a couple of big meta-relevant matchups, and I reckon it's time to do the same for this particular deck. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see lots of testing of ReshiZard and Zorogong, because I don't know about you, Jordan, but I feel like they're probably two of the best decks going into our Unbroken Bonds format, and I'm keen to try them out.
Yeah, you can't say that the Lightning decks are not meta-relevant either. Obviously, they were strong in the last format, and they're going to continue to be strong going forward, but these are the two decks that are going to be right up there with the Lightning stuff, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, thanks, Jordan, for coming along.
Happy to.
And thanks everyone for being with us. If you like the content and you want to see more, then click the little subscribe button in the middle of the screen right now. On the left-hand side, you can go back and watch the ReshiZard deck building video if you missed it. And on the right-hand side, it'll take you to our Unbroken Bonds deck profile and matchups little playlist. So yeah, thanks very much everyone for being with us, and we will see you all next time for more from the Sable Eyes. Bye.